vaping with the Ohmies. 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 Welcome everybody, welcome to the show. Let me introduce you to some dudes in case you don't know. First we got Aziz all the way from Kuwait. Always got a point when it's time for debate. Oh my Lanta, some call him Dan. Got the dad jokes in the palm of his hand. Boom Sauce McNasty got his eyes on the news. Got his ear to the streets and he's down for the crew. Next up is Clown, the DIY king. Got a juice line and some coils that sing. Then there's a bear who's smarter than average. Quick with a wit, his name Vapor Swaggins. Then there's the homie, we know him as Frames. And too many guests to remember the names. Together they make up this killer vape panel. So hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Vaping with the Ohmies. 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 Vaping with the Ohmies.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Vaping with the Ohmies. What's in the news, Boom Sauce? Alright guys, it's that time for Dan's dad joke of the week.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Vaping with the Ohmies. I believe we're on episode 6 of season 2 now. Of course, as you can see, we are short a couple of the Ohmies, so we picked up some of our fellow stooges, and of course my fellow co-host from the green room, my boy Sean Typhon, and of course my main man, Uncle Chris, aka Overdrip, in the house. So what we're going to do, guys, is do our normal thing. But before we even get into the buffets, we got a big announcement. I'm sure you guys could probably already see it right underneath us all. We got a new sponsor, guys. Big shout outs to OPMH because they are hooking us up, guys. They are one of our new sponsors. So, that Blast Off, that Coated, some of my all-time favorites. Definitely super stoked about that. We're going to actually be doing a giveaway tonight as well, so make sure you guys stay tuned for the rest of the show because we're going to do that towards the end, and of course all that good stuff. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into those buffets, and I'm going to pass it off to our one of our guests here. I'm going to pass it off to Mr. Overdrip. What do you got for us tonight, bro? What are you vaping on, bro?
What's going on, everybody? And also Ohmies, congratulations, because I love Blast Off. So,
dude, I like how you're repping IBC though. Shout outs to our other sponsor, always been holding us down.
I love Parade Maker to the max. If you have never tried that, try that out. It's phenomenal. I can't say enough about it. But I'm not vaping it right now.
That's why I went like this for you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So first thing I'm vaping is the Double Barrel V3, and I just right before the show re-wicked up the Moonshot 24. It is a lot to do, but flavor's really, really good.
The key is it leaking though?
No, dude, it's not leaking at all. Check
You're
that
a boss,
out,
bro.
Clean. It's at 105 watts. It's taking it like a champ.
Very nice, dude.
Take that, Dave. So inside there, I got some Nubilis. I got maybe one more fill left. This one is Alto Apple. Actually, Corey is the one that picked this up for me. So thank you very much, Dunkel Croy. That was phenomenal. It's great. I love the Apple. Second thing I'm vaping on is just an RX 2700. I think that Corey's actually giving one of these away on his channel. and I have the CP. It's by Advkin. It's like the 1.2, I think it's called. It's this little single coil one. It's good. Inside that, I got Blast Off because I love it. This is like, I'm pretty sure that it's my favorite, like, not dessert vape ever. And then the last thing I'm vaping on, actually, I just picked this up, and I'm still kind of like amazed every time I pick it up that I own it. So like I just picked this up.
Ooh.
It's the Dragon mod. It's the 360 limited edition with that brass Cali.
I'm so jealous, bro, because I had my hands on one of those at one point, and I had the pleasure of using it, but unfortunately I didn't get to keep it. And dude, such a banging mod, bro.
It's a beast. Like it's just a big mod. Like I don't have like huge hands, but my hands are definitely not small. And like this thing in my hand is like it's pretty big. But I know that could have went somewhere totally sideways. But I do enjoy that size thing in my hand.
Hey.
Inside there, I just have some peanut butter custard that I've made for myself, and I will pass it off to. I'm gonna go to Clown because he is to my right, on my.
Fair enough. Alrighty. Since we got this amazing guest here, I got the TM24 standard 24 with an Eclipse cap on it. Yeah, they do work on them, and it makes it that much better. On top of a Hexome, stabby wood door. Got to show off a little bit.
Of course.
Yeah, and in that I got a berry custy from Mr. Overdripped. Awesome juice, seriously, guys. When you get a chance, you need to get you some.
Thanks.
And then next, I got the Shogun on the Pug. Inside of that, I got Parade Maker from IVC.
Ooh.
Really, really good stuff. And then lastly, we're going to go Straight M0, Project Dex. And in that, I got Rectum Balls. And that is finally up on the site if you guys want to go check it out. All right, take it away, Poon Sauce.
What's going on, everybody? Let's see what I got. What do I got? I got my Cartel Revenant with the gear on top. And inside of there, I got some transistors Nazo.
Ooh.
Loving this stuff. I
Hell
believe if you're a shop owner and looking to pick up any transistor wholesale, you can go to OPMH Project and you can order from them.
Absolutely.
They carry transistors. So if you're a shop owner looking to pick up transistor, highly recommend them.
OPMH for sure. They got plenty of other lines as well. Like they've got the Fountain, Primitive, Prohibition, Primal, all kinds of good stuff. Caterpillar. So
next, I got my Warlock's Hammer with my Warrior on top. And inside of there, I got some Guerrilla Warfare .270. And then finally, of course, it's always going to be in every one I do, but I got my Asimodco Tormund with the recoil riddle. And inside of there, I got some transistors Foster. And that's it for me. Why don't we pass it off to Mr. Shawnee P?
That's bananas there, Poon Sauce.
Yeah, it's bananas, I know.
Bang. I hit my focus button.
Bam.
Started off with the Custom Creations Micro Squonk single 18650 with the GR1 on top.
look at that matchy match action, though,
Right?
bro.
Well, you know, when you rock the green room with your partner, Frames Janklin, you got to keep your match game just as strong. So, in that is the only American-made juice that I'm rocking tonight. Raw Berry. Raw Berry is a whole bunch of just straight, fresh berries. It's crazy. People who know me know I'm not a big fruit guy, so when I like a fruit, you know it's good. Up next, the Hammer, because it's always hammer time in my house. Got the gear on top because the gear is an outstanding single coil. If you're afraid of RTAs, get you a gear. You'll change your mind. No questions asked. And we're moving to Canada right now because we get that 12 Monkeys Tropica. Still banging, still going hard on that. I'm really loving that one as well. And then lastly, the Unicorn Tube setup. We got the MDX Just Right Edition with the 25 millimeter Unicorn RDA on top. Got that drip tip to match that button because it looks ever so nice. And in that, from the great country that is Canada, I've got the overdrip custard as well, but I've got the butterscotch. And that butterscotch, I'm going to say it right here, right now, and I don't care who hates me for it. It takes Turkish blend, pushes its face in the mud, rubs it in and says, "Who's your daddy?" And that's it for me.
I
Take it
love
away.
that.
Rames Janklin.
All right, well, I was trying to get this other setup going right here, but for some reason, it's not one to behave. So, let's see. Is it going to work now? Oh, well, hot damn, we got it working. Anyways, first setup, Shed Time. Of course, guys, you know I'm rocking Shed Time always with the Sonnet RDA on top. Of course, got that Copper Rose Chop Top on top of that with some of this ever so delicious. I've actually had to, like, kind of pace myself with this stuff because it is very hard to get a hold of, and I don't want to plow through it and then just be shit out of luck and getting another bottle. But it's that coil turd, that boule boulou, or however you pronounce it, that banana sponge cake. And I gotta say, guys, by far my favorite banana e-liquid out there, hands down. It's just delicious. I gotta take a vape off at one time.
It's bananas, Bananas.
Yeah, banana
the
land,
first time
bro.
you said it, like when you said it to Corey, that's exactly what.
Banana land. Next up, I got my Keen with the recurve dual on top. I actually stole the drip tip from the Turk V2 and threw it on top of there, and I'm really digging this setup right here. Inside of this, big shout outs to our sponsor, our new sponsor yet again, OPMH, because I've got some of that fountain coated on the inside. This is like Code Red Mountain Dew. I wouldn't say it's like exactly like it, but it's pretty close, and I'm really digging this. Probably one of the best cherry flavors that I've had, because you don't get that medicine taste or that cough syrupy taste or anything with this, and I really dig that out of this stuff here. And it's absolutely rocking on top of these quad core coil image coils that I got rocking in here. Shout outs to Coil Image, because I've actually got his coils in a couple setups tonight, because I also got a set of them in here, but I've actually got his tricore 28 gauge aliens inside of this bad boy, and that's the Rebirth RTA by Mike Vapes. And review is actually coming out for this on Wednesday for you guys. Inside of that, I've got some of that Sad Boy Butter Cookie, one of my new favorites. This has replaced Savage Marcellus because it's no longer available, which absolutely sucks, because that, if you guys remember way back, that was like my all-day vape, like all the time. Inside the the Defiant Designs DS, you know, with the TM24 Pro on top. That was the setup, always. And last setup for me tonight, I'm rocking that Sub-Zero X with that Sub-Zero X RDA on top, and that full hybrid with a Blizzard Chop Top on top. And inside, I've got some Blast Off, because Blast Off, like Chris said, this is probably my all-time favorite fruit e-liquid. It's just that banging. And you know what? I lied. That's not my last setup, because I'm also rocking the Bulk RTA on top of my Warlock's Guardian right here. And you know what I got inside of here? I got some of that overdrip butterscotch custody. Dude, like, I'm actually going to have to side with Sean on this, man. You know how much I love Turkish blend, but this stuff right here is legit. Like,
Y'all got any more of that butterscotch?
yeah, it's delicious, for real. And yeah, so that's it for the buffets. Of course, shout outs to our other sponsor, our other amazing sponsor, IVC. Of course, use the code Ohmies20, guys, over there for 20% off your entire order, off of whatever you want. You get yourself some Parade Makers, some Bubs, some of their Millionaire series. Their grapefruit's really good. The mango's my all-time favorite. Bell Islander. Like, what do you got right there, Clown?
Hipster Boulevard.
Hipster Boulevard. What you got there, Sean?
I have the Bell Islander.
Yeah, dude, that Bell Islander Blackberry Lemonade. They got plenty of great juices. Like, I've got some of their Piercini, which is a blackberry pineapple shaved ice. And I gotta say, it's pretty damn good. It's actually got the very similar blackberry flavor to the Bell Islander. So if you like Bell Islander, you'd probably like this as well.
That Calumet Theater with that peanut butter whipped pie.
So definitely go check them out, guys. Of course, giveaways will be coming soon for them as well. Make sure you're part of the Independent Vapor Company Facebook group, because they're doing a bottle a day giveaway for the rest of the year. Every day, one of the moderators in the group posts up a question, you know, like, what's your, I think today wasn't it something, it looked like it was something about like Hostess. like
Yeah,
desserts
your
or something like
favorite
that.
hostess snack cake thing.
Yeah, so it's just fun questions. They actually encourage you to answer with a GIF or a GIF or whatever you want to call it, because it really makes it a lot of fun. And they just randomly scroll through, pick somebody out, and then win. And there's no limit to how many times you guys can win either. You guys could win every day if they happen to end up choosing you, which I don't think would happen, but who knows? Press your luck. You never know. I actually know quite a few of our stooges in our Discord have won, along with a lot of other people out there as well. And so yeah, guys, definitely. I believe Sean actually won once in the group, so that's proof right there, guys. Anybody
Sure
can
did.
win. All you gotta do, you gotta play to win. So
That's
make
right.
sure you guys are part of that group. So
Can't
why don't
win
we do some shout outs there, Clown, before we get into the next segment real quick.
Alrighty, let's go as far back as I can. Texas Cloud Town, how you doing, brother? Seriously, if you guys haven't checked out his channel, go check it out. Weekend Wisdom on Saturdays. Seriously, go check it out. Olivia Lee holding it down for the moderating team. See Overdripped. Shane Oakley, how are you, brother? Todd Black, Logan Exhales. Yeah, that dude. He had some pretty interesting things to say this past Saturday.
Here's a little sneak peek for you guys for the Green Room Friday. Mr. Logan Exhales himself is going to be joining me and my boy Sean on the show on Friday. So stay tuned for that because the dude's really great. We've had great conversations with him in the Discord. Really cool dude, and we're excited to have him on the show. And you guys definitely go check him out on Instagram. I know he's really active on Twitter. Also, he does have a YouTube channel out there as well. So if you guys want to go subscribe to that and show him some support, go and do that. And you'll check him out with us on Friday.
For sure. True Vapor is another cool dude from the UK.
Suck my Chris.
Yep, pretty much. Tora Holman. I love her comment. It says, I need to stop watching. This music is so catchy. I keep humming the rest of the week. I love that.
Mr. Sean Typhon over here is the guy that's responsible for that right there.
Yep, for sure. Let's see who else we got. Kimmy Vapes. How are you?
What's up, Kimmy?
Crack. Oh, my Lanta holding it down at IVC headquarters.
Yep,
in
the Roseville, Michigan area. Go check him out. Go holler at him.
For sure. Monochrome Domino, and I know I saw Mark Cloth in here somewhere.
Yep.
And yeah, I think that's everybody I see for now.
He just snuck in. Breeze Tones, my dude. Go check him out over there on the Vape Malone channel with Mr. Vape Malone, NorCal Sick Boy, and Breeze Tones himself. That's Three Amigos. 6:30. That's about half hour
after the show.
Hour after the show, something like that. So make your way over there. Go subscribe. Show them some love. Great dudes. Great show. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move into that segment, guys. And you know what time it is. It's time for our favorite segment of the week. And you can catch a full, half-hour sprint of this on Wednesdays, over on the Poon Sauce McNasty channel. And it's time for What's in the News, Poon Sauce.
Okay, something interesting happened on Friday, which I thought I'd want to bring to discussion with you guys, since I guess you can call us kind of influencers, I guess. I don't know. I don't consider myself one, but I guess we could. So, looks like the FDA and the FTC has issued some more joint letters on Friday, going to companies that that use influencers, and they got them for social media violations. So, I don't know, James, you want me to name the companies? It's pretty much public already. So
it's in the article.
Yeah, it's in the article. So we got Solace, which is known for their Nick salts, all the kind of stuff right there. Hype City Vapor, the one that's known for spamming people on Instagram and wanting influencers.
Dude,
it's just they need
insane with it.
Slow their fucking roll because it's just ridiculous. It's to the point where it's like you could have 50 followers and they'll be like, "Oh, you want to be an influencer? No, get out of here." We got Humble, which we've known about them. They've been around for I would say a decent amount of while. Yep. And then this one caught me off guard, but Artist Liquid Labs got a letter too. So I guess they listed off some of them where it wasn't the actual company getting the article, but the company did get articles, but it wasn't for the company doing the influence or the social media output themselves. It was actually people doing business with those companies that were doing it. So Solace is the one where the people doing business with that company, and then Artist Liquid Labs was the one where they got people that did business with them that weren't following the guidelines. So one thing they got them for, which is still like, I don't know how I feel about it, because I don't know if you're because if you're using it for like a business standpoint of it, well, if you're an influencer, I would think that you're promoting them for business. People were not using the warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical on their social media posts. So first question to you guys is, do you think that should be a mandatory thing for any kind of influencer that even posts like a hand check with juice? Or is it, you think it should be down to where it's like, okay, I have some kind of contract agreement with a certain company, or a verbal contract, or any kind of contract you could think of with a company that's saying I'll post like so many hand checks a week kind of thing, where it's like if you have some kind of partnership with a company, that should be the only time you do it? Or let's just say if it was just James posting a hand check and he had a bottle of blast off in his hand.
See,
So-
it's a gray area.
It's not, though. I've read into this because of my time managing a vape shop. You have to be paid to be an influencer.
I was about to say that.
That this is where it gets a little fishy, because being paid in the context of the way that these regulations are written can also mean being supplied the e-liquid at no charge as your payment. There does have to be a contract of some kind involved that says, I receive X amount of product or X amount of dollars to promote said product X amount of times for X period of time. The basic language says that if you're making a profit of any kind off of that product, you have to use the warning label. So, for example, any vape shop that doesn't use that warning label when they promote a product on their social media is immediately in violation of that rule. An influencer who has a deal like that would have to actually do that. So to be fair, if let's say, with the green room, if we were to post hand checks of one of our sponsored e-liquids, chances are we should probably put that there, because we do have a agreement that they will supply us with e-liquid in exchange for promoting the product. So
Okay, that makes sense.
that being said, if I turn around, I bought this bottle of raw berry on my own at NVE, and I want to post a hand check with it, I don't have to put that there because I have no deal with raw berry. And so I can do that freely without that warning. Now, here's where it gets sketchy, and we're going to put our tinfoil hat on for a minute. What happens when they decide that anybody who posts a hand check is now a social media influencer?
Yeah, that's one of the questions I have. What defines an influencer,
But
I feel
like,
like to me, it
the
has
things say that an influencer has to get paid. Like that's the way that when I read it, to me it was like you had to. There was like someone that got given it for free and was paid. Those are like, they're basically representing the company, and so they're the ones that got some of the companies like the flag or whatever.
But I also agree that payment should be involving giving the gift of product to promote, because you think
Well,
about
product is money. It's like it's not like a real
It's something
currency,
that's
but
worth
it is
money.
at the same time.
And what I'm thinking of too is like, say you are an influencer and let's say you've bought their juice before you were sponsored, or however you were with them, and you post a picture of that juice. Do you have to have the nicotine label on? Do you have that warning on
If
something?
you're getting paid now, then yeah.
Yep.
So pretty much like,
I do think that that's a big ask, though. I don't really think that
No,
that's a
it's
big
not.
ask. I don't think
Well,
that's a cave either.
honestly, how are they going to know the difference whether you're getting paid or given this product?
Well,
versus
okay.
Probably by numbers to
But
some level.
I would
You have
argue though
20,000.
that if I'm posting a photo of an image of a product, there's this gigantic label right here that already supplies that information on the product. Why is it also got to be a third? Because mind you, part of the regulation says
It has to be a third of the picture.
So think about that. We're going to cut this entire section of my frame off with a warning label. to be compliant because I want to promote a product that also has the warning label on it in the image. I'm playing the devil's advocate here because I agree that the label should be there. It's a small concession, but at what point are we going too far? This bottle right here is non-compliant because they put a third of the label the other way. That's not okay.
Yeah.
This bottle is not compliant.
But this is.
That's
Like
what the label is.
this was the slippery slope.
That's where the warning
They wanted this, and that was fine for a year and a half. And then this wasn't good enough. And so now 2/3 of the bottle are warning labels. So now what's going to happen? Pretty soon it's just going to be skull and crossbones, and it's going to say nicotine juice. Like,
Yeah.
it's turning into the notion that if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. They've taken more than a mile. They've taken 15 miles.
But doesn't it kind of
See-
like just feel like they're giving responsibility to the people that are making money off of it? Like if you're doing any other business, right, you have to follow the rules.
Here's kind of a
all
cool
you-
question, real quick, from Dave Satek in chat. He says, "Do influencers now have to put that label on all previous posts or previous photos? Some have thousands of photos." See, that I don't know.
I think it's to where once that regulation passed, it's like you can it's like a grandfather thing to where if it's anything was posted before that date, you don't need to worry about it. It was
That is
before
correct.
that law was put into place.
Well,
They-
I mean, here's a question. I know they have to put the warning labels on hardware. Do we have to do it also for hardware?
So they did clarify that hardware doesn't need this product contains nicotine
Mhm.
because it doesn't. However,
more
they
transparent.
do want you to put a note on there that says that warning applies to when nicotine containing e-liquid is added to the product.
I'm gonna start doing zero Nick.
I mean, it's just it gets to a point like we look at other industries because at the end of the day, nicotine is a sin product, and so we're always going to be comparing ourselves against other sin products, as it were, the vices, if you will, which is why we always default back to alcohol and the regulation of alcohol compared to nicotine, and it's pretty insane that alcohol companies aren't jumping through all of these hoops that nicotine products have to. And I totally agree that there are regulations that should be in place in regard to advertising, in regard to labeling, and all of that. But we come back to something that we've always argued, which is common sense regulations. And everything that is regulation in vaping is a knee-jerk reaction, and it's ludicrous. And even in the face of overwhelming science from around the world that disproves the nonsense that these regulations are being built on, they're still being over-regulated. So, at that rate, you start to ask the question that, when does civil disobedience become an option? Like, there are e-liquid companies who are turning around and saying, well, screw it, man. I'm just going to put out a new product. And when the FDA says, stop it, I'll stop it. But until they tell me to stop, I'll keep going.
Okay, so I want to ask one more question to everybody before we move on. I know since we all know what an influencer is, what their expectations are to us, what do you think should be a global expectation within the regulations of everything of a vaping influencer? What do you guys think? Do you think that there should be a point to where there could be a median to where we can stay within the guidelines of what is being put out, even though they're ludicrous, but we can stay within those guidelines and we could still do what we love and promote a product?
See, on the global level, I think it'd be a little bit too hard because the regulations everywhere are so different.
Yeah.
I would say like a U.S. market kind of thing. What you think should be the global, like the U.S.
universal,
The
US
national.
standard of being an influencer in the vaping industry? Do you guys have you guys ever thought about that? Have you guys put that in perspective of should there be just a uniform kind of way an influencer should be? That's my question to you guys.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, I again will make that argument back to the alcohol industry. Jay-Z owns a vodka company. Jay-Z can take a photo of himself holding a bottle of his own vodka, and his warning label is fine print at the bottom of the picture. Why can't we do that?
Make a good point.
I mean, if we can all stay at one point to where we can stay within the regulation, there shouldn't be any problem. There shouldn't be any problem with anybody posting a little bit, doing a little bit more work to put a post up.
But don't you
The
think
thing is the people
that
don't.
they'd have to actually establish that, and it'd be like clear cut, like a standard, or like what you legally have to do, which would be therefore the standard.
Yeah.
You know, you'd have to have that like firmly, like it'd have to be established. You couldn't.
Yeah,
like,
it have to be.
Everyone here is going to know like one thing. You know, in like that instance, we could all know like most of it, but all five of us might not be able to tell you 100% of what is like legal or whatever. Like if Sean wasn't here, would we be able to like come up? He obviously knows a bit more than, well, at least I do. Like
It needs to be a little bit more clean cut and more well drawn out, to where like it's like this is what they want and this is what you gotta do, not so much this is what we kind of want and this is kind of how we're gonna like it needs to be like, I agree with you. It needs
There's
to be more
gray areas right now.
Exactly. It needs to be more
new, changing. This like that's the problem. Like that's part of the problem. That's not the problem.
I wanted to say to Addy what he said, which he thinks every vape influencer needs to advocate a limit.
I agree 100%.
I agree 100%, but it's the sucky thing is it's going to go down to those people, and it's going to go to those companies who need to pretty much make it part of the mandatory thing of when they post. So if you think you see a company out there, chat, if there's a company that you want to start advocating more, let them know. That's what could happen. If there's a company out there that you support that you don't see advocating.
Well, check this out. Here's a little proof in the pudding for this situation. Actually, last year, when there's a lot of stuff going around, advocacy wise, and we were pushing hard for a lot of different things. And one of our stooges in our Discord, he started reaching out to some of these influencers and a lot of these people, some big names, and he reached out to Just Peachy, and it was just like, hey, like it'd be cool if maybe you posted some an advocacy post here and there. That'd be awesome. Use your platform to kind of spread the word. And she was like, you know what, hell yeah. And she did it, and now she's one of the only ones that I see that actually she continues to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And like with the platform that she has, being able to do that, if we can get so many of those other ones, like there's so many of these trickers and all these people out there that are have these huge followings. If they were able to put out one post a week, you know what I mean? Just one post. It doesn't have to be like all crazy. But if they put out that one, and all those people that follow them see that post, and then it gets shared or it gets spread out, across the Instagram or whatever platform they're using, like just think of how many people we could reach.
I could piggyback off of this, and this is a challenge I would give to anybody watching tonight, anybody who sees this in a replay, whatever. If you have an elderly family member who has quit smoking by vaping, I encourage you to get on your Instagram and shoot a little 60-second video of them telling their story. And then get some of these influencers to share that, because those are the people that we need to share the stories about, because there's plenty of us types in the vape world talking about the good things of vaping. And at the end of the day, the general public sees the us types as these miscreants, and that doesn't help. But if you guys have your grandma who had a 50-year smoking habit, and she got off us butts with a little vape, that is going to speak volumes to the general public.
Absolutely.
And that is going to make a huge impact.
100% agree. 100% agree.
All right, guys. Well, I think we had pretty damn good conversation about that topic there. Of course, guys, if you want to read up more about what we've been talking about here, there will be links dropped in the chat for you guys by our amazing moderator, Liv. If you could drop those for us, that'd be awesome. There is not only that Vape News article by Angela Garrity, but there's an actual link in that post there that takes you to the full article that you can read up more on, and it's got a lot more detail and a lot more information there. So if you guys want to get a little bit more clear idea of what we've been kind of talking about there, that's where you guys can take a peek at it. So what we're going to do now, guys, is we're just going to kind of turn into I guess our main topic, which really isn't a main topic. We're pretty much just going to be hanging out today. We wanted to bring on Sean and Overdrip because, of course, we're down a couple of the Ohmies this week. Of course, sorry, I got distracted by chat. Apparently, my sister's at the shop and they've got the stream up, so that's awesome, dope. If anybody in the shop is watching, shout outs to you. But anyways, dude, I'm just excited to have you guys on because we've had you guys on here and there here on the Ohmies, and of course, me and Sean, we hang out every Friday. But dude, like I know we've all kind of been, doing different things here lately. Like I know Chris, you've kind of been doing your whole DIY thing, and kind of testing the waters with different flavors and all that kind of cool stuff. And I know Clown's kind of been doing the same thing. He's kind of getting some more of his stuff kind of figured out and all that good stuff. So I want to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about mixing, because that's kind of a conversation we haven't really had here on the Ohmies. And I feel like Sean can even kind of contribute to this just because he's worked in shops and he's tried many juices, and he's the juice reviewer here on the panel this week. So why don't we talk some mixing? So
I will start off with Sean, hats off to you for doing juice reviews because they're a bitch.
You haven't been around to hear some of the conversations I've been having lately. It's awkward that I'm being called a juice reviewer right now. Because I'm over here like, I don't think I want to do juice reviews anymore.
I've been told you should do more juice reviews on your channel. It gives you more content. I'm like, no.
The thing for me is juice is so subjective, and and for me to like give you an honest opinion on a profile that I might not necessarily like or be in my wheelhouse, it's
exactly.
That's why when I talk about juices, I talk about ones that I like and that I enjoy, and give you that kind of point of view. Otherwise, it's just, I don't think I'd be any good at it, man, to be 100% honest with you.
And that's the thing, right? Is that like when I'm doing those juice reviews, what am I really doing? I'm selling you a product.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's really the place that my head was, and where I was coming from was, let me break down what's going on in the profile and be able to repeat that back to you in a way that you can understand.
Yeah.
And that's really why I enjoy when people like Clown and Overdrip have come to me and sent me juice to give feedback on, because I can sit there and take it from that perspective of, all right, like, yeah, these are flavors I won't vape, but I can spend a couple days vaping them and understand what's going on with them and see the work that went into them.
Definitely.
So my question, I have oh, go ahead, Corey. Didn't mean to cut you off.
I had
there,
something
man.
I wanted to say and I completely lost it. So give me a minute.
All right. Well, with that being said,
So then go ahead, James.
I kind of want to ask you guys, like, Chris. Of course I know like where you kind of started with the whole flavor line that you're going here, but like, what got you into like the custards, man? Because I know that's like your thing. Like you started off with that vanilla custard. That's one of my favorites. You guys know I rock it all the time. But like, what made you decide to just start making your own vanilla custard?
Well, I guess like really it started just because I really enjoyed them. I've tried like so many different custard juices, and living in Canada, right? Like I don't get every single American juice line up here, and so sometimes when you do find an American juice line, it'll be really expensive. So I tried a bunch of like local Toronto shops or whatever for their vanilla custards. And some of them were pretty good. But then I tried Vaptasia Killer Custard, and there was something about it. And I know that it's kind of like one of those juices that some people don't like. and other people love, and I was just one of the people that loved it. And so I remember I was paying like $45 for 100 mil or something like that. And I was like, man, I got to figure out something else because like this is expensive. And like I was getting into it at the time where I was like starting to vape, you know, like I was moving off of like the 50-watt devices to like the dual battery mods. And I was just crushing juice. So yeah, I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna try DIYing. And yeah, I had a lot of fun doing it. I've had a lot of frustrating moments, like incredibly frustrating moments, almost soul crushing moments when you're like, I think that I'm gonna get this time. I'm gonna get it this time, and then you try and you're like, man, I think that's worse than before. That's the part that sometimes gets me, but I guess that's also the part that makes me want to keep doing it because you get close to something and you're like, man, I think that it could get even better.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just got into like some of the DIY shows. I used to watch like Fresh from the Kitchen all the time. That was like originally how I got into it because I was a fan of TVC. I would watch his regular videos or whatever. And yeah, that's what happened. Then I got in on like the forums and whatever else.
We got a question here from Addy Tooney for you, Overdrip. He says, have you tried the FA custard premium flavoring yet?
No, I have not.
Flavor
I don't
art.
think where I order from they have that.
Should look it up. Do they do flavor art? That's what FA is.
Okay.
Yeah, no. There is flavor art, but I know I just ordered concentrates on Friday, and I won't lie. Like, I mean, sometimes I know what I'm going for, and I don't go for that one because I've never even heard of it. So I'm gonna have to check that out. Thank you very much, Addy.
So, Clown, like, for you, man, like, what was one of the first juices that you decided to mix? Like, because I know you've been DIYing here for quite a while now.
Okay, I am a huge fan of coffee, and I wish I knew where, because I do not remember where I got the concentrate for it, but I want to try to remake it and see if I still like it so many years later. But the first one I did was a French vanilla liquid French vanilla coffee, and it was good. So I want to remake it, but I don't remember where I got the flavoring from because like I sat on it for a long time. And but yeah, it's mostly the same thing. I think most people that get into DIY is because they just don't care to pay the price for e-liquid anymore, and you start looking into it and you see the price differences and what benefits come with it because you get to customize it to what you want exactly, you know? You're not just relying on somebody else's recipe or what they like or what they were looking for.
Yeah, there's so much tweaking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're talking about, like I know that I mix by weight, and I don't know how Clown mixes. Do you mix by weight?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, if
So,
you're
like,
gonna
you
get
just
into
put on a scale.
DIY, just buy the damn scale right away. Don't waste your time.
You can literally buy one from Fast Tech. That was my first scale for mixing.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
Fast Tech for like
On
$5.
Amazon, you can get them for like $10.
while we're talking about Fast Tech, I just wanted to give you guys a little hint out there in chat. Mr. Overdrip himself is our resident Fast Tech guru. Because you need anything, he'd be like, well, dude, they have this here. And, like, he knows all the codes. Or he'd be like, dude, I got this there. And he, like, finds, like, these dope drip tips and, like, all this cool stuff. Dude, anytime I'm looking for anything and, it's like, oh, I got to go to Fast Tech or something. It's just like, oh, Uncle Chris, point me in the right direction, bro.
Yeah. I always message them, hey, I'm going to order something from Fast Tech.
Oh,
You got
hey,
any
Lab
codes?
Works. I see you in chat, bro. And, yeah, I got a donut today, bro. Always coming in here talking about food. I was prepared.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, and it's so good.
Finally.
Labwork says he wants nachos.
I've got some in my fridge right now. They're very not good. They've been in the fridge for a couple of days.
Looks like we got a question for Mr. Texas Cloud Town. Over to Overdrip is, when are you going to go in to bottle that shit up? He will pay with his soul
For the whole line.
whole line. He will
Well,
give you his
seeing as
soul.
you have red hair, you have a lot of souls, so that's not really that big of an ask, apparently. But no, it should be pretty soon. Like I gotta get registered as like a business and stuff to like get the lab that I want to make it. So it's just gonna be a little bit of time because like I do have like another time consuming job sometimes. I just got to get into these places at the right time and talk to the right people at the right time. So I'm hoping that by like July I'll have all that sorted out, and then by like mid-August, like I should be able to ship shit out, because I don't want to get juice made and then like 2 weeks later send it out. I'd prefer to have it like steeped like a month
Mhm.
if I have that opportunity. So I'm kind of hoping for like a August, September, like very beginning of September is like the latest that I'll be like launching it, sort of thing.
Fall launch, it would be good for a custard line.
Yeah, like Sammy Nitro said that to me, and I'm like, dude, that's true. Because I was gonna try to push it and be faster, but I think that him saying that was enough for me to be like, you know what, that's probably a very good decision. So that's the deal for that, Jay.
Sounds like a fucking awesome.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send a bunch of stuff to Texas. Just saying.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eddie. I'll look into that.
Oh yeah, dude, Addy Tooney and Mr. Labworks, two great guys to go to about some good mixing
DIY.
advice. Me and Paul talk all the time, dude. Dude knows his shit. It's insane.
Labworks is a cool dude, man. He's a really cool dude.
If you've ever seen his area, I am completely jealous of all the stuff he has. Seriously,
Dude, for real, flavorings for days, bro.
Yeah, and he don't play around. He's got like the big 4-liter ones and stuff like that. It's like,
So for our mixologists, I got a fun question for you guys. What's a profile that you aimed for and completely missed?
Mint me.
Really?
Yes,
This I want an elaboration on.
I was going more for like an ice cream, and it did not come out ice cream.
Came out banging either way. How about you? How about you, Overdrip?
I tried making a few different donut recipes like when I first started, and let's just say that I never figured it out. I've like recently tried revisiting donut flavors, and I've got a couple going that are okay. I have like a black currant donut, and I'm kind of digging it right now, but forever, dude. I tried making donut flavors. I was always trying like chocolate, like dip donuts, and they're bad. Like I'm a pretty like I'll vape some questionable juice like from other people, you know what I mean? If like they're like, oh dude, this juice is terrible, like Henderson Castle, I think it tastes pretty good. So maybe I'm a little bit broken. But yeah, like donut juices or like bakeries really stumped me at the beginning because I would over flavor everything.
Always start small and then work your way up. Honestly.
So would you guys suggest some? Okay, so you start, Chris. Your first one was like a custard, I'm guessing, right? Your first attempt at making juice was like a vanilla custard.
No, my first attempt at making juice was actually a Fruit Loops flavor. I didn't get into like doing the vanilla until like 3 or 4 times in because there's a lot of different flavorings. So I didn't want to like blow my whole budget on it and then suck at it. So I was like picking off like I'd buy like 2-3 flavors and then I'd try making juice out of stuff like that. Like it took me a little bit until I committed and like bought a bunch of flavorings I thought I could make custards out of.
Okay. So if there's anybody in the chat right now who is thinking about actually starting DIY or making their own juice, what would you say your top advice is? Like the one thing that you can give them as advice. What do you think it would be?
Use a good mixing calculator.
And you're talking about somebody who's like
Wanting to
About to
start
start,
mixing.
okay. I would probably say your best bet is to don't order anything until you start going like crazy looking at like e-juice recipes and shit and see like how all these ones, there's lots of like 2-3 flavor recipes that if they're in your wheelhouse, like try those first. Don't order stuff because you think it looks good and you think you can make something with it, because like that's what I did, and I ended up spending a ton of money on stuff that like I bought 1.5 years, 2 years ago almost, and I've used like 1 mil. You know what I mean? So you got to like find out, or I said apples because LabWorks wrote Fuji apple. Yeah, I would go and like try to find some recipes and just try using other people's recipes at first, because that will let you know kind of what flavorings do good at what percentages, what each flavoring might even taste like. Like there's so many different strawberries, they all taste different. You know, there's tons of different apples and they taste different. So that's what I would say. I would say like go somewhere where you can buy like that beginner kit that they'll like send you VG, PG, nicotine, and like 10 flavorings, like a combo kit, and then just do that.
Addy Tooney says start with one shots or just simple recipes, 5 flavorings.
What does he mean by one shots?
They're ones that come like they already come pre put together all the flavorings, and you just dump it to whatever ratio you need.
It's
you
like
add your
Grim did that with
it.
that juice, watermelon or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, like watermelon from DIY.
I thought that was just from e-liquid barn.
Yeah,
Where-
Yeah.
there's
thought it's
companies that do
It's
those.
the flavoring. You just have to add the VG, PG, and the nicotine then.
Yeah.
You don't have to know make like weight ratios or anything when it comes to the flavorings.
Adore does that too. You can get concentrates from Adore. You just
Yep, you
add
can.
your nicotine, VG, and PG, whatever you want.
Adore even sends the instructions on how to do it for the different size bottles and stuff.
Okay, it's interesting. I'm surprised you don't see more companies doing that. Kind of just like I could see maybe like the mass market companies not doing that because they want their brand to be exclusive. They want their flavor to be exclusive because they want you to spend money on them.
Yeah,
But I could see like these small guys out there, maybe just like how the DIY shows do it. They share all their recipes. If you're asking for, like on like Fresh 03 or DIY or Die, they'll tell you the exact recipe they came out with, or they probably have like a Google document.
No, well, dude, they have like on e-liquid recipes. Like if you just type in like e-juice recipes, like you'll find it online. And like Addy Tooney has like a ton of stuff. Like he has I can't remember any of the flavors right now off the tip of my tongue, but he has ones that have like 5-star ratings with like 150 people. Like there's Fresh 03's recipes are on there. There's a bunch of different people's recipes.
DIY or Dies on there. I know there's one I always get notifications on. It's called the Juice Fairy. She puts up recipes like at least once a night, and seriously, they get pretty good ratings. So
And there's lots of stuff on there that's good. Like I've tried making some of like things that like I've never I was like we're out of my comfort zone, but I enjoyed the flavors, or just to see how certain things worked out and have a good vaping juice, or having friends would be like, yo, can you make me like a clone of this? And I'd just look on there, and if there was one, I would just mix it and then send it to my buddies. Like, there's lots of options on there. And if you get in there, like there's a lot of friendly people. So like there's a forum part. So you can ask questions. If you see a recipe you like, you could say, hey, like I don't have this flavor, but I have this one. Do you think I could substitute it? And there'll be like people that'll chime in, and there's not like a bunch of mean people on there.
Hey Chris, I noticed that they actually for at least for the e-juice calculator you were talking about, they have a Discord group, and they are beyond helpful on there, dude. Like seriously, you could just put in there, hey, I'm trying to do this, and they will like walk you through it, or you'll just get a bunch of people throw ideas your way.
As a quick little change of topic there, James, don't you think we should give our viewers an opportunity to win some juice?
Dude, I was just thinking the same thing. Of course, big shout outs again to our new sponsor, OPMH, because what we're going to do, guys, we're going to give you a chance to win some of the delicious e-liquid that they carry. So how this is going to go, guys, is whoever ends up winning, we're going to need you to email us a copy of your ID, your address, and your name and all that good stuff, because we want to make sure that you are of age and all that, because OMPH is going to be taking care of, sending everything out and all that. So what we're going to do is whoever wins, just email that to us over at vapingwiththeohmies@gmail.com. So like I said, you'll need your picture, your photo ID, your address, contact info, all that good stuff, and then we'll make sure we get that all taken care of. So what we're gonna need you guys to do is just go ahead and start dropping some X1s in the chat real quick while we go ahead and do a little bit of some announcements or whatever we got going on the channel. So go ahead and start dropping those X1s right now, guys. I want to see them flying because they have some delicious e-liquid over there at OPMH. So of course, Clown, you got the vlog coming up this week, right, on Wednesday?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the vlog on Wednesday. I didn't do the Let's Talk DIY earlier because I kind of slept all weekend, so I didn't have anything prepared. But I will have 3 videos out. Just spoilers. This guy is one of them this week.
Dude, the Brunhilde.
Oh, dude, not gonna lie, it's a good atomizer.
Dude, I thought you were holding a mod.
No,
with
dude,
an
that was
RP.
just the Addy on an Addy stand.
Look how big that is.
Dude, that looks like an 18350 tube, bro.
Look, that's on top of that's next to the Rig V3. So,
Which is
Damn,
not short
That's
at all.
intense.
and that drip tip is ridiculous. That's the one that comes with it. But yeah, that's what I got going on this week.
And then Corey, what you got going on? You got another what's in the news on Wednesday, right?
Yep, and then what's your story on Saturday? But don't forget, I have a giveaway going right now
Ooh.
for an RX 2700 with an Iconic. You'll get the full setup together. All you got to do is go on any of my videos, pick your favorite one. I don't care, and all you have to do is comment #DunkleCroy.
Hell
And-
yeah, Dunkle Croy.
And then on the 29th, Saturday after Houston, I'm going to be picking the winner. So if you want to win a mod and an Addy, start commenting Dunkle Croy on my videos.
Go get
Very
it.
nice.
All you got to do. It's all you got to do.
So it looks like we got a bunch of X1s going on up here. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to scroll up to the top of where the X1s start, and I'm literally going to scroll down. I'm going to stare at you guys in the eyes right here. Hold on, let me get the cursor in the right spot here.
Yeah, let me look at you in the eyes.
And I'm going to look you right in the eyes. And I'm just going to scroll, and stop. Oh, well, would you look at that? Mr. Logan Exhales. Bro, get in contact with me, bro. You know where to get a hold of me. Of course, you could email us if you want at vapingwiththeohmies@gmail.com, and we'll get you taken care of, bro. Thank you for tuning in. And if you want to catch him, along with me and my boy Sean Typhon, you can catch us on Friday on my channel for the Green Room. Of course, I got a video I dropped for you guys today on the Get Low mod, which is actually right here. Shout outs to our fellow Ohmy Kuwaiti Vapor Aziz because he gifted this spectacular mod to me. And if you guys want to check out my thoughts on this, like I said, there's a video on my channel for that, and I got a video coming out for you guys on Wednesday for the Rebirth RTA by Mike Vapes and Hell Vape. And yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. Of course, you can catch Uncle Chris over there on the Instagrams at Overdrip, and that's actually with a 0, not a O. It's 0 drip, or however
It's
you
bird
try to-
drip.
Zerver drip. Zerver drip.
So make sure you guys
Zedrick.
go follow him. He posts some pretty dope pictures. He got some pretty killer setups. Of course, if you guys haven't, make sure you're subscribed to my man, the Angry Hippie. Make sure you follow him on Instagram, all that good stuff. Of course, make sure you're following all the rest of the Ohmies here. You'll catch us right back here on Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, and that's 6 p.m. Mountain. Don't forget about the Mountain Time because that is a time zone. And
You'll
yeah.
get pissed.
Yeah, with that being said, guys, that's pretty much it for this episode.
One sec.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry,
go
sorry.
ahead, dude.
Okay, I was about to type it in the chat, but then you were gonna finish it up. So, Dan sent me a dad joke.
Oh, yes, dude.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
So I'm gonna
Chris, you got some
I'm gonna
shit
deliver it.
Okay, hold on. Let me do this. It's time for Overdrip's Dad Joke of the Week.
well, it's Dan's dad joke. of the
No,
week,
but it's
No,
Overdrip's Dad
I'm
Joke
serious.
today.
Own it.
This is actually Dan's joke. So
Well, you're
tomorrow-
reading it, so own that shit.
Okay, well, it's a little bit different, but I'm into it. So this is pretty close to me. I'm a 40-year-old woodcutter from Canada. Ask me anything. Also, I'm not 40.
That's
good
pretty.
one. I
That
like
was
that
actually pretty good. That was
Ask
pretty
me
good.
anything.
So even though Dan wasn't here, he was here in spirit. Of course, if you guys are in the Roseville, Michigan area, make sure you guys go check out the IVC headquarters. Make sure you use the Ohmies discount code OHMIES20 for 20% off your entire order over there at IVC Independent Vapor Company. And make sure you guys check out OPMH and all their delicious e-liquids that they carry and all that good stuff. More giveaways and all that good stuff will be coming your guys' way. With that being said, that's it for this episode of the Ohmies. We'll be back on Monday for episode 7, season 2. All that good stuff. So as always, send out all those positive vibes, crisp high fives your way. And yeah, let's just vape on, Ohmies.